Yeah, somewhere along the line, things started to shift. Yeah. So, after the year 2000, man, like there was just a huge decline in black-led television. There wasn't a lot of television shows and sitcoms and series that were directly related and accurately depicting the experience of the culture, right? What we saw a rise of reality TV. We saw shows like Love and Hip Hop and The Real World, et cetera, Big Brother, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And excuse me. Also, we began to see fewer multi-dimensional characters in these television shows. Like there wasn't a lot of characters with a lot of depth or multi-dimensional. Yeah. Then once again, we began to see stereotypes becoming normalized again. Meanwhile, in the 1980s and 90s, you saw, man, stereotypes challenged, stereotypes smacked out of the sky when you're talking about those shows. And now we're starting to see in 2000, we're starting to see stereotypes become normalized again via television and the television shows. And then also, we started to see networks begin to make decisions with regard to their economics over cultural value. So it was economics over cultural value. And then what did you see with this shift? Things started to change, man. They started to change. Youth aspirations, we can start there. We're talking about the 1980s and 90s. We're talking about a different world. You know what happened with a different world? All of us wanted to go to college. We all wanted to go to college. And we wanted to be like Dwayne Wayne, excuse me, and Whitley Gilbert and Walter Oakes and Ron Johnson and Kimberly Reese and Freddie. I can't remember Freddie's last name. And Freddie. We wanted to go to college and we wanted to experience college life. You feel me? We wanted to join fraternities and sororities, right? We wanted to literally experience what it was to go to an institution of higher learning. And I know for myself, and I'm going to speak for myself, I'm not going to project, I'm going to speak for myself. I largely attribute that to a different world and the Cosby Show and the work that, you know, Bill Cosby did with regard to promoting the college experience, and not just the college experience, but also promoting historically black colleges and universities, which I didn't attend one. But it was that work was very instrumental in adding to the aspirations of not just me, but several people in my generation. And a lot of you all are listening to this, and you can attest to this. You can smash the like button, and you can hit the comment section, and you can attest to the fact that, yes, a different world did want you to, it caused you to aspire to go to college. Also, we saw a shift in the family dynamics. Right now, you're starting to see more shows that feature broken homes with regard to the culture. The absence of a father. You understand what I'm saying? You're starting to see a lot of different dynamics play out that were not, excuse me, indicative of the core family structure. Also, you're starting to see varying gender representation. You feel me? That's starting to vary. You're starting to see a lot more by way of, you know, homosexuality versus heterosexuality. You're starting to see more gender neutrality. Stuff starting to be a lot more risque. You feel me? And then, of course, it was, you know, respectability and ambition. That stuff just shifted. It just really, truly shifted. And not just that. Also, you started to see a thing that I would be remiss if I didn't say. You're starting to see the over sexualization of our women within the culture. Yeah. Yeah. Man, it's a cold game. Now, I'm talking about 2000s. And so one of the things I did was I went and I said, in the midst of me having this conversation, I said, man, let me go take a look. And I went and got 2 samples based on, with regard to the ratings, what were the most popular shows, Black American-led shows in 1988 versus 2024. In 1988, you had The Cosby Show, A Different World, 227, Amen, What's Happening Now. Once again, The Cosby Show, A Different World, 227, Amen, and What's Happening Now. In 2024, you got a show called Harlem, which I have no idea what that is, The Shy, The Vince Staples Show, Bel Air, Sisters, and Raising Canaan. Harlem, The Shy, Vince Staples Show, Bel Air, Raising Canaan, Sisters. It's incredible, man. I was floored when I was literally floored when I looked and I compiled these lists and I looked at them and I compared and contrasted. I literally was floored, man. When I compared and contrasted those, I was literally floored. But anyway, let's keep going. Actually, maybe I should take a pause there and send a shout out to our sponsors over at the Black Gentleman Grooming Company. Salute to the family over at the Black Gentleman Grooming Company. We do have a line of all natural handcrafted grooming products specifically with you in mind. So be sure to come check us out, www.theblackgent.com. That's www.theblackgent.com.
We offer the best grooming products for you. That's all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, your style, class, and luxury. We make our products tailor-made for you with high quality. Yeah. So get in style with the Black Grooming Company. To give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah. The Black Gentleman Company. To give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. Once again, salute to the family over at the Black Gentleman Grooming Company, man. All right, man. I don't even. It's almost like, if you look at 1980, because I really tried to look at 1980 because I understood that the 80s and 90s was a golden age for Black American television. You know what I'm saying? Or at least Black-led TV shows. And so if you look at the decrease in the quality of the shows since 1980, and it's right lock in step with the level of cultural decay that's taking place, in my opinion. You look at economic gains versus persistent systematic barriers. You also look at the role of media in uplifting and misleading communities, which is something that's really becoming more and more revealed in modern times, you know what I mean, with the whole onslaught of social media, as well as the comparing and contrasting of, you know, different networks and storylines and with regard to the news media and so on and so forth. But we are just in a very, very, very peculiar place, you know what I mean? And in my opinion, you know, and my take on it is that the TV decline did contribute to cultural stagnation, even if It's not the sole cause. I'm not saying that it's the only reason for the cultural decay, but there's no way that you can tell me that the different the declining of quality television shows that positively depict the Black American experience and positively depict the core culture, and I mean the core family and core family values. You can't tell me, excuse me, that the lack of such television shows and the availability of those shows in modern times has not negatively impacted the culture and has not added to the what I've coined cultural decay. It's impossible. If you look at it and you look at television, man, do you realize that you see more Black men kissing one another in 2025? You see more Black men on television kissing other Black men than actually married to Black women. Y'all never noticed that? And I'm talking about television shows. I'm talking about ads, commercials. You see more Black men in a homosexual capacity and engaging in homosexual activities more than you actually see successful Black men married to Black women. And you can't tell me that that has not added to our cultural decay. Just the lack of representation of the core family. You can't tell me that that has not had an effect on our cultural stagnation. Just the normalization of our cultural traumas. Period. And in the past, we've always realized that representation informs identity. It sets a standard. Once again, I just told you, A Different World had me wanting to go to college, had me wanting to get good grades, watching Theo Huxtable work his way through high school, not necessarily being a good student at a point in his life, and then transitioning to being an honor student and him making an honor roll. And I'll never forget the episode where he made the honor roll and his father put out his fist and hit his rock, you know what I mean, for him actually working and getting good grades. Like, that gave me something to aspire to do. Like, it made it cool to actually be smart, right? And then also they had an episode where, and they unveiled that Theo actually was dyslexic. He suffered from dyslexia. You understand what I'm saying? So now we're dealing with students who have learning disabilities, and now there's a message for you and a message for them and hope for them, something that they can connect to and identify with. Like, representation informs identity and it sets a standard. And what standard is modern television setting? You feel me? Like, what standard is modern television setting? And what we're dealing with in modern television, with modern Black television, and I ain't gonna pull in movies and theater and so on and so forth, but the majority of modern Black-led television, what we are dealing with is cultural displacement by entertainment. That's what we're dealing with. Cultural displacement by entertainment. Yeah, man. Yeah.